Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. This is your boy Ruben, and I'm back with another Ruben Report. I know I've been gone for quite a while. Haven't been posting anything and taking some time to myself. There's also a lot of things that I'm still waiting on as far as certain results. But today I took the bike apart mainly because I finally got to a certain mileage mark that I wanted to share with you guys some of the results of the experiment that I was doing over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, due to certain events, my father passing away and a lot of other different things, I just haven't had the chance of riding the bike as consistently or just as often as I wanted to. However, I still think the results of this particular test that I've been doing is somewhat helpful, and so I wanted to share this with you guys. According to not my latest video per se, but the last video where I shared my odometer, which was I think in my SGE update. This is right before the 6,000 mile review video. I showed that the odometer was 5,779 miles. So I'm going to show you guys the odometer now. Okay. We have 6,066 miles on the odometer now. So I put just about almost 300 miles on the bike since I last did a valve adjustment. And in my 6,000 mile review video, I stated at the end of that video that I was doing an experiment, and that experiment was to increase the valve gap by a bit larger, so larger than 0.08 millimeters, and to see whether or not that would help with valve recession over time, if you had valve recession. And so far, after riding the bike very infrequently, I would say, because it's been almost a month now, and I've been off of work for about 2 weeks, and I just started work again this week, but I still wasn't necessarily riding the bike very often. I rode it maybe once, because it started raining and things of that nature. And but anyway, I wanted to show you guys the results and these results, I guess you can say, basically the things that I've been saying for the past, I don't know how many months, that the frequency of riding probably plays a huge role in the valve recession issue. Okay, just like I said within my video, if you ride this bike every single day for a considerable distance, you'll probably run into this issue. But this is the perfect example of me not riding a bike very often and doing about 300 miles over a very stretched period of time. Mainly just going to the grocery store and things of that nature. Haven't really been going to work, just little short trips here and there. We finally got to 300 miles after a month, and we're going to see where the valves are at. And so, just for full disclosure, for the actual experiment, I set my valves to this much. Okay, that's how much I set my valves to, is 0.102. All right, now I know that is above spec, tiny bit above spec, but what I want to show you guys is that being it set above spec, and also with me not riding it very frequently, check this out. Here's the intake. Okay. It's still a slip and slide. Same thing here. It's still a slip and slide. It's the exact same way that I set it when I first set it over a month ago. So now we're going to look at the exhaust valves. Same thing. Let me zoom in here so you guys can actually see what's going on. Okay. Let's get in here. Sorry. Slip and slide. Slip and slide. Ain't that amazing? So, hold on. See that again? Yeah. 0.102. So I guess what this test can go to show is that if you ride the bike very infrequently, okay, maybe your definition of commute might be a lot different than mine. I mean, obviously, this whole journey, I've been riding this bike a pretty considerable distance this whole time. But the average rider doing, I don't know, 500 miles a month. I just did about 300. But the average rider doing about 500 miles a month, well, even less, 300 miles a month. I think 300 miles a month or a little bit more is more in line with the average of what someone would put on in a year, right? Most folks do about 3,000 to 400 miles, 3,000 to 4,000 miles in a year on a motorcycle. So about 300 miles a month, just like I did. Very infrequent, you know, a 60-mile ride here. Most of the other rides to the grocery store, much shorter trips. As you guys can see, the valves, they're absolutely fine. So if you're the normal consumer, I would say, a person who only does 3,000, 4,000 miles a year, the RX3 is still a decent choice. I wouldn't recommend it for what it is that I've been doing, you know, over 12,000 miles a year. But the 3,000, 4,000, you know, short trips, inner city commuting, maybe short day trips every once in a while, you know, once a month, 2 times a month, you know, 100 miles here, 100 miles there. I think it'll be fine. You just have to, whenever you do those trips, you just let the bike sit for a while. You just don't ride it very far. You don't do too much. You don't push it very, very hard. And like you guys see, the valves are absolutely fine. So for the past 300 miles, the valves have not moved at all, which is great. And I just wanted, I guess what I wanted to do with this video, I wanted to restore a little bit of faith for some of you out there. I know that, in particular, my experience riding 6,000 miles with generally using this bike as a replacement for my cars has been pretty daunting, and it's been pretty daunting for everybody to witness, really. But I don't want the RX3 to be completely written off, and neither do I want it to be completely ruled out. Depending on your expectations and what it is that you would particularly use this bike for, it might suit some of you guys' needs out there. So pretty much this bike's direct competition now is, I think, possibly even the RX1 that's out there. I mean, you can get this one, the gas powered, or you can go get the RX1, the electric. That one can actually, yeah, they pretty much go the same speed. This one goes a lot faster, well, a lot farther with being gas powered. But I mean, yeah, you can get an RX3 for about $4 or $5 grand, probably even close to $6 grand, the way that I had mine configured. Or you can get an RX1 for $8,500, almost up to 10 grand after taxes and fees. I mean, it's pretty much up to you. Yeah, all right. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put this bike back together, get it all cleaned up, and yeah. there's that update. I might continue to ride this bike, but I'm actually looking to sell it. And the reason why I'm looking to sell it, the recent death of my father has really put things in a lot into perspective for me. I know him passing was very unexpected and very tragic. I mean, he was only 71 years old, but him having to deal with a lot of health problems, I'm not going to go into full details, but it's really put things into perspective for myself. And I went ahead and visited the doctor just to do a routine checkup, and you know, I just don't want to end up like my father, you know, with a lot of health problems later on in life. So I'm making certain changes and making certain decisions to live a much more healthier lifestyle for myself. And I have ordered or decided to try to use a different form of transportation to get back and forth from work, which I guess I'll reveal a lot later once it actually arrives. So the RX3 is going to be going up for sale. It's still viable, still useful for those with certain expectations. And what else would I want to say? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following along. I have not forgotten about the oil analysis. I'm still waiting on results. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back just fine. I don't really think there's going to be any issue with that, but we'll find out. Anyways, stay safe out there, guys, and peace. And here we are, got her back together, fired back up. She runs like a top. Wow, guys, what do you know? It was just excellent timing. As I was finishing up here, you know, just cleaning things up, my delivery truck pulled up and they dropped off, well, the item I was just speaking about. So this here is a bicycle, an electric bicycle. This is the method of transportation that I was referring to, saying that I wanted to be more health conscious and get into shape. I'm gonna get this unboxed, get it together, and give it a little test ride. Probably put some more content about this bike up later. But yeah, the bike is going up for, the motorcycle is going up for sale. I might keep it just for a little bit, because I know riding this bike is going to take some getting used to, but I'm definitely going to be selling this to whomever may be interested. It's a great bike. If you have the right expectations, it comes with a lot of goodies, and I mean a lot of goodies. I pretty much have almost every accessory for this thing that you can think of. So whoever who may be interested, I mean, it's a great bike. I'm going to be taking a couple things off here, like, you know, the phone holder and the power cord for the phone, and, you know, just little miscellaneous things, but it's going to still have the heated grips and, you know, the little top box and all that stuff. So yeah, all right, see y'all next time. Peace.